Hello, hello, hey, sweet people. How are you? It is Foster from Inglês no Rádio.
And here he is here with me, Alexia.
I'm here with Alexia. Happy whatever day this podcast is being released on. And today, Alexia, it is raining cats and dogs.
Yes, it is. Raining cats and dogs, and I'm gonna turn 30 in just a little bit as well.
Ooh, are you excited?
Yeah, I am.
Do you know where the phrase raining cats and dogs comes from?
No.
No. Do you know what it means?
Yeah.
Raining a lot.
Yeah. We have one in Portuguese that I don't remember, but it's like, tá chovendo something something and canivetes. I don't know exactly.
I believe, I'm not sure if this is 100% accurate, but I believe that the phrase raining cats and dogs comes from industrial London during the Victorian age when they were building so many new streets and everything, and the city was just crazy that occasionally it would rain really hard and they did not have proper sewage systems.
Proper what?
Sewage systems, like pipes and places for the water to flow.
Okay.
And it would rain so hard that quite literally cats and dogs would get washed up in the rain.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
But wow, but it's perfect for today's episode.
Yeah, that's a good point. I did not even think about that.
See, amor, that's why we are
gente.
together.
That is one of the many reasons why we are together. So today on the show, we are talking about something that I've wanted to talk about for ages now. And it is a book.
Ages.
For ages. That's a great phrase. It means
I know.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit dramatic as well.
Perhaps. Perhaps. Anyway, I wanted to talk about a book that I read a few years ago, perhaps, maybe last year. I don't remember. But the book is called Palaces for the People. It is by a guy named Eric Klinenberg, I believe. I don't really know what he does, but it's called Palaces for the People, How Social Infrastructure Can Help Fight Inequality, Polarization, and the Decline of Civic Life.
It's a big title.
That is a mouthful.
It's a big title.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you read that.
Yeah, so Alexia, do you know anything about this book? I know I've talked a lot about it, but most of the time it's kind of one of those things that I'm talking about and no one's listening. It happens a lot.
I imagine that you've already talked a lot about it.
Yeah, you could say you have talked a lot about it already. So you've already talked about it a lot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but not specific like, oh, this is from Palace of the People. Maybe it was in the middle of a conversation that you were talking about, but I don't remember specific.
Yeah, so this book is about social infrastructure, which essentially is referring to services, building structures that support and improve the quality of life in a place. But when we're talking about social infrastructure, it's things that make life better for people, but it doesn't necessarily help the economy.
Okay. So...
It sounds so boring, but I promise it's not.
So like what?
For example, libraries, public libraries. That is one of the main things that he talks about in the book, and that's why we're talking about it today, because we visited my public library in Spartanburg, South Carolina yesterday.
Yes, we did. It's amazing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second, but other examples would be public parks, nature.
Public museums.
Museums, transportation, public sports, things like that.
Public sports?
Yeah, sports groups, sports teams, like soccer fields.
Ah, okay. A place for you to play.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just things.
Public gym.
Things that make life better, but don't really make money.
Or just like those things that exist in Rio for seniors in the plazas and all those. How do you say that?
It's just like a recreational park for seniors. I don't know. It's a place for old people to stretch their legs a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so Alexia, the phrase palaces for the people, This originally comes from Andrew Carnegie, do you know who Andrew Carnegie is?
No idea.
No idea. Oh boy.
What?
So, he's just one of the most famous historical figures in all of American history.
I'm sorry, I'm not American. I didn't study American history that much as well, so we could focus on
need to
European
apologize. Okay.
history.
Anyway.
Someone is talking here.
Oh, my Amazon device is talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay, we will just make sure we don't mention your name anymore, but it should be fine.
Okay.
So this phrase, palaces for the people, originally comes from Andrew Carnegie, who he is most famous for building most of the railroads, and he's one of the richest people in all of American history, and he built a lot of things with steel and railways, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So he was British, right?
Originally he was Scottish, and then he immigrated to the U.S.
Yeah, I imagine, because they were the ones who would do all the railroads and everything that time.
Mm-hmm. The Scottish
people.
Mm-hmm. But Andrew Carnegie also started building a lot of public libraries, and he thought they were hugely important, and he called them palaces for the people. That's where the title of the book comes from, and I just think it is intensely beautiful.
It's beautiful. When you think about it, palaces for the people. I mean, everything is built for us. All of this is built for us. It's for the people. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So that's where I wanted to start today. Lexia is talking about public libraries because honestly, I think it's something super, super important for society in general, and it's something that we take for granted, which means we don't appreciate it enough.
That's very true.
So, Alexia, yesterday we went to the Spartanburg Public Library. This was your first experience. No, not your first experience in a public library in the U.S., but your first experience at this one. How was it? What were you expecting? How was it compared to your expectations?
It was my first one.
And no, it was not. We also went to the North Carolina State Public Library in Raleigh.
I thought it was... No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't. We did, but I thought it was a college library.
It's the public university library. So it's still public. You don't have to go to the college to go there.
But I thought it was from the college. Okay. Yeah, that one had the robot, remember? The robot who would grab the book that he wanted.
Yes. So we also went to a public library many years ago in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is the capital of North Carolina. And this public library is associated with the public university in Raleigh. And it's way better than Spartanburg. It's crazy good.
No, it's amazing. It's like, I have no idea how to compare that because it was amazing. But the Spartanburg Library, public library, was so cool to visit because Spartanburg is a tiny city, right? It's a tiny place.
Yeah, it's not like a New York or Miami or anything like that.
No. And to have a public library do jeito.
Do jeito.
The way that it is, it's amazing. It's a beautiful building, open windows, like it's really bright, and with an amazing collection of books as well, and magazines and biographies and
DVDs, audiobooks.
Yes, that's
the
part that Foster loves, and you can tell them.
Yeah, so just imagine this. You can go to a free library. It's totally free, and you can check out as many books, movies, audiobooks, ebooks, magazines, whatever you could possibly be interested in for free. You can check out up to 50 books, I believe, at one time. And when you check out a book, you can keep it for a month. Totally for free. It's the coolest thing in the world. It truly is a palace for the people, don't you think?
I do think. And I don't know why people don't do that much. Like, instead of buying a new book, you can check out on your public library and see if they have it. And if they do, you rent it and you read it, and then you turn it back for another person.
Yeah. Turn it back in.
Turn it back in. And if you have a lot of books in your shelf or on your shelf.
Either one, honestly.
In your shelf that you don't read anymore and it's staying there for more than a year or something like that, go donate to your public library.
Yeah, I was talking to you yesterday about, I hear so many people, especially with English, like, hey, I wish I could do this, but I don't have the resources or the money or anything. Well, with public libraries, you have all of the knowledge that you could ever want in books. That's how people used to learn back in the day.
Maybe you have to pay a small tax, but either way is much better than paying for a new book and you can do whatever and whenever.
But at public libraries, you don't have to pay anything unless you are late. Then you have to pay a lot.
Yeah.
And one last thing I wanted to mention about public libraries in the U.S., they're not only a place where you can read and learn about anything you want, but they also have a ton of cultural events. Number one, public libraries are the main place in the U.S. where people have free English classes. So
that's true.
Tons of immigrants.
Laura used to do that, right, I think?
Laura Perucci.
Yeah.
I believe so. Hey, Laura, I need to send you an email. And we even saw yesterday in the Spartanburg County Public Library, they're having an event about how to start a podcast.
That's very cool, and we are attending to this event.
Imagine that. There are going to be some small podcasters in Spartanburg, and then out of nowhere, the most famous English teaching podcasters in all of Brazil are going to show up and say, we have no idea what we're doing, ever. So maybe we can learn something too.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. So next episode, we are going to continue talking about these palaces of the people.
Yes, other palaces like parks, transportation, schools, just things that are good in general. But until then, if you're in the U.S., visit your local American public library. And if you're in another country, most countries have public libraries. Go to your public library, people.
Okay, so I'll see you on the next episode.
Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.